You've heard of the trolley problem, right? For decades, it's been the classic thought experiment designed to stump pretty much everyone. But what if all that philosophical hand-wringing was a total waste of time? Well, we're going to dive into a source that claims, with a totally straight face, that the trolley problem is actually pretty easy.
So, right off the bat, our source is basically throwing down the gauntlet. It's suggesting this legendary ethical nightmare can be solved with just a little common sense and something it calls a moral calculator. So let's see if that claim actually holds up. Okay, first things first, let's break down the classic setup. This is the part of the problem that kind of ropes you in, the one that makes you feel like, oh yeah, I got this, right before the rug gets pulled out from under you. All right, so here's the scene in all its brutal simplicity. A train is completely out of control, hurtling down the tracks. And right in its path, 5 people, tied up, can't move. But you have a choice. There's a lever right in front of you. You can pull it and divert the train onto a different track. The only problem? There's one person on that track. You have no idea who they are. You just know they're there. So the question seems simple, right? Would you pull that lever? I mean, when you just look at the numbers, it feels like a total no-brainer. It's just simple math. Save 5 people or save 1. Seems pretty straightforward. And yeah, that's what almost everyone says. Of course, pull the lever, duh. But here's the thing. If you think that's the end of it, you've just walked right into the first trap. See, this isn't the full problem. It's really just the setup, designed to mess with that confidence you're feeling right now. Okay, and this is where it starts to get, well, really interesting. We're moving away from the neat and tidy hypothetical and into the messy, chaotic reality of what someone would actually do if this were happening for real. It's a subtle but huge shift, isn't it, from would you to would you actually? Our source argues that for most of us, that one little word completely flips the script. That confident yes turns into a much more shaky probably not. All that clean, abstract math just goes out the window when real-life panic sets in. So why the change of heart? Well, it's all about psychology. When you're faced with a real, terrifying life or death moment, your body has that whole fight, flight, or freeze thing. And a lot of us just freeze. Your brain starts scrambling for an out, maybe looking around for someone who actually knows what they're doing. And that easy, logical choice you made sitting on your couch, poof, gone. Vanishes in the heat of the moment. All right, so we've established there's a huge gap between what we think we do and what we'd actually do. Now, the problem takes it up a notch. We're about to get into the most famous, and let's be honest, the most uncomfortable version of this whole thing, the fat man problem. So forget the lever. This time, you're standing on a bridge, looking down at the same scene. Train, 5 people, disaster. But next to you is a large man. And you realize he's heavy enough to stop the train if he were on the tracks. The only way to save those 5 people is to physically push him. The math is identical, 1 life for 5, but the action feels completely, totally different, doesn't it? And this is where our source kind of pokes fun at the super logical academic types. You can almost hear them stuttering, but the math is the same. It's still 1 life versus 5. So why does this version make our stomachs turn? Why does it feel so wrong? Well, the answer, our source says, is all in your gut. And that gut feeling isn't just some random emotion. No, it's your brain acting like a supercomputer running this incredibly complex moral calculation in a split second. It's seeing all the important stuff that the simple 1 versus 5 math just blows right past. So what is that supercomputer brain of yours picking up on? Well, it's a few things. First off, practicality. I mean, would this even work? Can one person really stop a speeding train? Probably not. Second, and this is the big one, he's just a bystander. He wasn't on the tracks, he wasn't part of the problem, he's just a guy on a bridge. You'd be dragging him into this mess. And third, our source points out, kind of cheekily, that the whole pushing a fat guy thing is just a really bad look. So your gut screams no. And this gets us to the absolute core of this easy solution. It's not about the numbers at all. It's about a simple question. Who is fair game? Let's run this idea through a couple more of those tricky variations and see how it holds up. Okay, check out the loop scenario. Here, the track loops around and there's a large man standing on the loop. If you pull the lever, the train goes onto the loop, hits the man, and stops before it can circle back to the original 5 people. Now, the outcome is the same as the bridge, but the context is totally different.
You're pulling a switch, which feels less direct. But the real key, the man is already on the track. He's in the danger zone. And according to this fair game idea, that makes all the difference. The answer flips right back to yes, pull the switch.
And you see this fair game rule works everywhere. What about the version where pulling a switch derails the train into some guy's backyard where he's chilling in a hammock? Nope, he's not on the tracks, not part of the situation, not fair game. Don't pull it. What about the surgeon who could kill one healthy patient to harvest their organs and save 5 dying patients? Again, no, the healthy guy isn't in the game. The 5 sick patients are, so you can't just drag an innocent person in. The rule holds.
So, you see, it really does all boil down to this one simple idea. It's not about being a human calculator trying to save the most lives. It's about fairness. It's about asking, who is already in the arena, so to speak, who's already on the tracks, and who's just an innocent bystander that you would have to physically drag into this horrible situation.
Okay, so just when you think, wow, that actually makes sense, I've got it, our source imagines those frustrated academics coming back with one final ridiculous question designed to break our brains. And this one is a total trap. They want you to start weighing people's lives against each other. A Nobel Peace Prize winner versus a bunch of criminals. It's designed to be impossible, right? How do you even start to do that kind of moral math? But here's the best part. The source doesn't even bother to play their game. It just completely dodges the question and hits you with this dark, hilarious punchline. It turns out the decision has nothing to do with saving people at all. And there you have it. A solution that just tosses the entire ethical debate out the window in favor of some good old-fashioned, cynical self-interest. Obviously, it's a joke, but it does leave you wondering, doesn't it? After all this deep, complex moral philosophy, maybe sometimes our choices are driven by something way, way simpler, and maybe a little more selfish than we'd like to admit.